The future of IT sales has been a topic that has come up more and more as manufacturers are really looking for ways to grow their business. It's been a top priority for CEOs and CIOs for the last couple of years running in our research. And so we decided that we wanted to say growth is interesting as you leverage technology, but what does it mean to really grow into new markets, grow into new segments, grow into new customer bases? So we wanted to take a concerted effort and a view across a number of key elements across the entire selling cycle and figure out what are we seeing, what trends are happening in the marketplace, and what kinds of indicators can we take that will help our provider clients really move themselves forward as they look for growth into 2014 and beyond. Why is the future of IT sales important to clients? Here is the net of it. Competition is increasing, new providers are entering the marketplace, everyone's trying to expand into emerging markets, get better at selling into mature and emerged markets. And so this competition has just become so heated. And optimizing what is currently the selling models is always the de facto fallback for most sales leaders in IT manufacturers and providers today. They go back to what has always worked for them in the past. However, that's just not going to continue to work in the future. There's too many trends impacting that, whether it's the nexus of forces, which is social, mobile, cloud, and information, or whether it's the new buying behaviors of a tremendous amount of the buying IT budget moving out from underneath IT. Those two things alone significantly will impact the way providers need to think about selling in the future. So if falling back on old habits is what they expect to do and have similar returns, that's where the challenge is going to start to show itself. So if you're thinking about why is it important now, everyone's trying to grow, budgets are tighter, customers are smarter about what they're buying, and so at the end of the day, the competition is going to do nothing but continue to heat up. So it's interesting, through this entire research project that we've been undertaking, we have identified what we believe will be what the future IT selling organizations are going to end up looking like. Today we feel very much a disconnected organism. There's disconnection between the product groups and then the marketing team that's doing segmentation, and then ultimately the sales team that has to execute in the field. And so going forward, we really believe that this connected selling organism or this connected sales force is going to be what's going to drive competitive value into the market. So in making sure that you have the right products sold to the right customers through the right selling motions is going to become critical to success. If one of any of those three is out of place, the model doesn't work. Because if you're selling the right product through the right selling channel to the wrong customer, it doesn't work. If you're selling the wrong product to the wrong customer through the right selling channel, it doesn't work. All three have to be in harmony. And what we've understood from a lot of the research that we did in talking to a number of very large IT providers out in the marketplace is that that doesn't happen very often. Usually what happens is a product makes its way over the fence, and they then identify who the target customer is, and then they identify what the best selling model is. So that happening in the upfront planning will really set providers and manufacturers up for greater success as they start to strive to win in the market going forward. So we did a tremendous amount of interviews and a lot of research throughout this project, and the trends that we identified as being critical to the success of moving the selling motions forward and being much more competitive in the marketplace is shoring up the skills that they have on the Salesforce side, to not be totally oriented around hunters and farmers, but really start to think about guides and disruptors of existing ways customers think about leveraging technology. The other is enabling sales forces to actually develop themselves on more of a career path in relationship selling versus just thinking about how to sell across technology. The other was having lots more data in understanding what's actually happening in the sales motion so that they can quickly optimize in areas that will bring the greatest returns. And last, really, that was absolutely critical to the future success is identifying a team of people that are going to be solely focused on understanding where to invest for the future, what to double down and protect, and really the underleveraged assets that can be moved forward to ensure future growth in the existing category, and then what things are just no longer profitable and don't make sense for the business to continue to invest in. So shedding that business that is less than profitable, doubling down where there's room for investment, and then at the same time looking for ways to innovate. Creating a core team that looks at that, coupled with Salesforce development and better data, was really the three things that we identified as being critical to future success. We hear so much of the time that people are competing against the products and how to benefit the business in getting much closer to the customers in an intimate fashion. But what tends to be missing is the sales motion and the go-to-market and the ways in which customers are going to consume your technology, how they're going to find out about your technology, the journey they go on with you the moment they decide that they in fact want to solve a business problem that they've identified in their own business. And you've got to carve out an equal amount of time in the way that you actually sell your technology as you do in the way that you understand your customers and you develop your products. As I said, you've got to think about those three legs of the stool. What's the right product with the right customer sold through the right selling motions will become critical. If you're leaving out that third, it's just not going to be as successful as it could be. So from an advice standpoint, it really is when you start thinking about the future, building some scenario planning around what kind of sales force do we want a few years from now? What is it going to look like? How's it going to be organized? What kinds of sales reps do we need? How do we launch products to market? How do we understand and test that while at the same time we're protecting our revenue streams that are coming in today? So advice from me would be step back for a second, do an inventory on your current selling model, and make sure that you're doing everything you can do to grow in the future.